Ernie, what is happening? Brother, I'm running so late. We're going to be good to go in about 2 minutes. How's everybody doing? Caden, how you doing? What is going on? Oh my goodness, it is a Monday. It is a Monday, top to bottom. That happens sometimes. Make you a mod, Caden? I mean, we could talk about it. You've been here from the beginning. You're old school. You're OG. I'll make you a mod. Let me know what it is you're interested in, and we'll figure it out. All right, I think we're about ready. Oh no, we got another minute. We're still counting down. All right. Man, when I start running late, I try to fix it. I'm one of those people. I try to make time. You can't make time. But I think we're just about ready to go. Yep. Let me fade this down. So, going to be doing a lot of different things today. Oh, thanks, Caden. I appreciate that. I really do. Thanks, man. All right. And, well, this is going to be weird because when we fade in now, normally we fade into a game title, but we're just going to fade into my desktop. This is going to be different. We'll hope for the best here. All right, here we go. So I have seen a ton of streams for how to use Mod Studio, and I have had people ask me either on Discord or in comments or whatever. They've asked me about skins, and I guess there's a lot of tutorials for how to use Mod Studio, but not necessarily for how to create the images that you end up with using in Mod Studio. So we're not going to do a game today, Caden. We're going to do I'm going to show you how to make a skin for ETS or ATS. It's the same process for either one. So we're going to use paint.net. We're going to use paint.net for this. It's freeware, and I've got a few plugins for it. I've got the DDS plugin, and I think there may be one or two others that we use today, but we're going to work primarily in paint.net, and we're going to get images ready for Mod Studio, and then once the images are done, I'll show you how to actually use Mod Studio. So I found this online. It's just it's an MAN. It's not a TGX. No game today. We're going to do a tutorial. We're going to do our first tutorial and see how it goes. So it's not the Euro 6, but we're going to base ours on the Euro 6. But we're going to use the paint scheme on Andrew Shaw's MAN. We're going to use it as our inspiration. And where's the best place to jump in? I guess we'll jump in through. Well, let me tell you a few other things first. So there's paint.net, right? You can just download that. Find that via Google. And then Mod Studio 2 is right here. We're up to Mod Studio 2020.10. I think this was released just before the end of the year, and this is the most recent version. If you join their Discord, and if you open up, let me see. If you open up Mod Studio, it's got a link to the Discord. And once you're in Discord, hey Owen, how you doing, brother? Yeah, I've had a couple people say, great, I figured out Mod Studio, but where do you get the image files? So that's what we're going to do today. You can join their Discord via Mod Studio 2. There's a link right here. And then once you're on the Discord, you can download templates and XMLs. So the XMLs are going to be up here under data. You don't need to like memorize all this or anything, and I will try to keep it moving, but I don't want to go through it too quickly. When what, Caden? When are we going to do a game again? Probably tomorrow, I would say. Probably tomorrow. Go to Data, Mod Data, SCS, and Vehicles. And this is where all your XMLs are. And the XMLs are what Mod Studio uses to figure out what goes where. So you've got the main image file for the truck, but then the modern trucks, I'd say in the past 18 months maybe, they're called the advanced model, and they have the accessories in a different place. So you do need a more complex template, and you also need a current XML. But if you download the most recent version of Mod Studio, it typically has all the XMLs up to date. Yeah, I like watching people make maps. It seems like it would be boring as hell to just watch it, you know, watch somebody kind of moving around. Probably tomorrow, Caden. I would say Shellington tomorrow, but no guarantees. So yeah, just watching somebody like put trash bags and rubbish bins in place and right, find an old car model and put it upside down in a stream. It seems like it'd be super boring, but I really do like it. So hopefully I can keep this interesting for you. And what else? Templates. You can also find templates on the Mod Studio site, and that's, I guess, the best place to jump in here. So this is a Photoshop file here, but if you get the plugin, you can open it in paint.net, all free. It's all freeware. And this is what a template looks like if you've never seen one before. So this is the Euro 6, and it does have all three cabs. So it looks a little cluttered right now. When mod, I don't know, hit me up on Discord, man. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I got to keep this moving, though, so I might not be able to talk with you a whole lot about it today, but just drop me a note on Discord or leave a comment, and we'll sort it out. No worries, brother. And if we look at Mr. Shaw, he's got the XLX, so we'll just work with the, even though it's a Euro 6, we'll work with the XLX cabin. And what you can do, just to keep things simple, is you can delete these other layers. So the XXL and the XL, we won't be using those. You can just delete those, but then immediately, if not sooner. Okay, no worries. Drop me a comment, and we'll figure it out. As soon as you change anything about the template, immediately go to Save As and save a new file. And the reason you want to do that is we're going to start making changes, and if we start making changes to our template file and forget and just save, we will overwrite the original and it'll be gone forever. So I'm just going to call this one Shawman TGX. There we go. And we've got a standalone file. So we've got the cabin represented here. It's super, super cluttered, and you can see all this other stuff down below. So like chassis, corner deflectors. When we turn these layers on, it looks like nothing's happening. But this cabin XXL, XLX up top, cabin B XLX up top, that represents everything. When we turn that off, these layers down on the bottom represent specific things. So that would be corner deflectors, that would be door handles, right? Front badge plate. And what that allows us to do is, so if we have everything selected, right? If we have the whole truck selected, and we try to grab something, it's going to give us everything. And it makes it kind of cumbersome to work with. Whereas these individual layers, like if we just wanted to paint the corner deflectors, now when we use our select tool, we just have the corner deflectors selected. We go inverse, and we can paint all these at once, right? And we could not do that if we had everything selected. It would just get really kind of cumbersome and pain in the ass. So let me deselect these and unpaint them before I forget. So we've got all the different layers for all the different parts of the truck down below, but we can also see the whole truck up top. So let's see, what would be the first thing we want to do here? Let's go ahead and do the UV checker. I don't necessarily need to do this anymore because I know the templates well enough for the most part, but let's do this anyway. Just because it's something that you may have to do, and if you've never done it before, it's a little bit weird the first time. So this file that I just opened is called a UV checkerboard, And I believe it's the same size even. Yep, 4096, and our template is 4096 as well. So this will just drop right in there. What these are designed to do in any type of wrapping or wireframe modeling, what we're going to do is drape this whole mess over our truck, and then by looking at it in game, we'll be able to see what goes where. And for the most part, it's pretty self-explanatory, right? Like you've got, if we go here, if we go down here, this is the right door, the right side of the cab. So obviously this is going to be right side up. It's going to be right reading. No worries. The back of the cab. But when you get into things like the accessories, right? And we'll do 6x4, 6x2 long, 6x2 long, I think is what we want to do. If we go 6x2 long, this is, right? Some of these will be right reading, some of them will be not right reading, which is a graphic arts term for left to right versus right to left. And they could be inverted, they could be all kinds of things. So by using this layer here and actually making a skin, bringing it into the game and looking at it on the truck, you can see where everything goes. So while we're here, let's just go ahead and do this. We'll close this one. And let's open all the accessories we're going to use. So that would be the mirrors. So we'll open the mirrors. We'll open rear fender paint 6x2 long. Right, we'll open that. We're opening all of these in paint.net. Rear fender top paint 6x2 long. 6x4, we'll open that one. There you go. Let me see. 6x2 long. Open that one. Is there a fourth one? That is 4. Mirrors, the fenders, and the side skirts. Okay. And then same thing, we'll copy this. We'll select all and copy all, and we'll drop this into all of these. And we're going to create a layer. We're going to put it behind the outline of the mirrors in this case. We're going to drop it. It's going to tell us it's too big. That's fine. Keep the canvas size. And we've got this now. So we still have our mirror outline, but we have this on it. So what this will allow us to do is when we see it in game, it will just confirm for us what's going on what mirror. Because it could be, and this does happen sometimes with the templates, is this the left mirror, the right mirror? Oh, but by looking at it after you drop that UV checker on it, you can see exactly what goes where. So then we'll do the same thing here. Right, and this is that's our fender side paint. And then we'll go in here. These are our fender tops. And these are our side skirts. This is the critical one. I want to say all that other stuff is kind of self-explanatory, but this is the one that always gets me because they are upside down and backwards and all over the place. All right, so now we're going to save this as a Photoshop file. And we're going to save it as, right, because it is a template, we're going to save it as Shaw side skirts so we don't lose it now. And we'll just save that in our Andrew Shaw folder. So now we have our layers preserved. And then we can save it as a PNG. All right. It'll keep the name. Flatten it. And Control Z unflattens. Even though the PNG is saved, Control Z does bring your layers back. Same thing with this. We'll save as. Save it as a Photoshop file. And we want Shaw rear fender top paint. Then we're going to replace. Yes. There you go. And we're going to save it as a PNG. And we want, there we go. flatten, and then unflatten. Go here, save as. And we want, I'm just throwing Shaw in front of all of these, like I said, so we don't lose our original template files. And when you're doing this stuff, if you don't know this already, save a lot, back up a lot. If you even want to save your template to a thumb drive or the cloud or something, so there's no possibility of you overwriting it. It's not unheard of. All right, and mirrors. Save as. I'm going to save this as a Photoshop file. All right, like so. And then save it as a PNG. All right, go. And then Control Z to bring it back. And got to do this one last time. We're going to go in here to, this is our main truck template. Create a layer, call it checkered, just to keep it simple. And drop that right in there. And the other thing I'm going to do is fade this out a little bit, because we'll still be able to see it. But if you fade it a little bit, it can make it easier to see. Well, it sounds counterintuitive, but that's just how it works. Okay. So we'll confirm that that is saved, and we'll save this as a PNG as well. Is that right? Yep. Here we go. And done. All right, so we now have images for, we have PNG images for the truck itself, the mirrors, the fender sides, the fender tops, and the side skirts. So now, if we go to Mod Studio 2 and open this up, it's a really simple program to use, but some of the menus are not where you think they would be. You have to kind of hunt around for them, so I found them all. Start a new mod project, ETS2 mod project, add template. So the old trucks are, I believe they're called simple truck skins, and that's where everything is on one image file. The advanced truck skins, the one that we're going to be working in today, the truck image and the accessory images are separate. So we're going to select Man TGX Euro 6. This is the internal name, and this is our test, so we're going to call it Checker. This will be the skin name as you see it in your mod manager. So we'll give it a capital C. Price doesn't matter right now. Level doesn't matter. Alternate UV, this is a little bit tricky. I don't fully understand this. Sometimes you check this, sometimes you don't. The only way you can find out whether you need it or not is by making a mod. Once you've got them sort of memorized, you know whether or not you need to check it or uncheck it. But yep, if it's not alternate UV, all your pieces and parts will be just scattered all over the truck in the wrong place, so you'll know straight away. Icon, we're going to use the default for now, but I'll show you how to use your own icon momentarily as well. Skins. So we're going to now use the big image for the whole truck that we just created. So we'll go to Andrew Shaw, and it is Shaw Man TGX Euro 6. And when we look at that, we can see this is our checkerboard, and you can also see the outline of the truck there as well. We're going to select the XLX cabin. This is going to get me a bunch of times, by the way. I'm going to say XLL, XXL. It's going to be a mess, but XLX for now. And the other thing you can do, if you want, is if we go back to this file and get rid of this because it makes it hard to see. But we do have those other truck parts available, right? We've got cabin A, we've got all kinds of stuff. So what you can do if you want is you can build skins for your 3 different cabs in one Photoshop file, activate them when you're ready to save them, only save with that the skin for that cab showing, right? Give it a different name, and when you go into Mod Studio, what you can do is have 3 different skins or 3 different images for 3 different cabs within the same file, so you don't have to have one skin for XXL, one skin for XLX, one skin for XL, you can add another image, right, and use a different cab. So that's a nice way to keep your mod folder cleaned up. All right, this is the tricky part. Hang on now. So we go to accessories, add an image. From our same folder, we're now going to select mirrors, and then scroll down and tick mirrors, right? Add image, and I'm just going to work left to right here. So these are going to be the rear fender 6x2 long and 6x4. So these are the rear fenders down here. So we've got 622 and 624 and 62_2. I'm not sure which of those represents the 6x2 long, but I'm just going to select all of them. There's no harm in doing that. What you wouldn't want to do is if you had multiple fenders. In this case, we're only going to build fenders for one truck and for one chassis length. But if you had multiple lengths of fender images, you would want to be very careful with this. But we can be a little bit more sort of loose because we're only going to have one set in there. That makes sense? I think it did. I hope it did. All right, so those are our fenders. Now we're going to add our fender tops. Let's go right there. Same thing. This is a bit of a mystery to me, but trial and error, you can generally figure it out. So 622, 624, 62_2, and 64. And then our final one is, what's our last one? Side skirt 6x2 long, and we'll do the same thing. Side skirt paint, right? 6x4, and then stock, like so. Is that right? I think that's right. We'll go over here. We've got metallic options next. I'm not going to mess with this right now, but it used to be you had to plug all this stuff in manually. The way Mod Studio 2 is set up now, if you just tick metallic color, these values are all configured for a really nice sort of sparkly kind of bass boat metallic. I like all these values. I just use them as they are. And then you would need to go in and select two colors. So we could select white and blue on this truck would probably look fantastic, but not going to mess with metallic right now. You go up to File, Export Mod, Export, in my case it's Documents, Euro Truck, Mod, and I already tested this, so the file is called Checker. Just going to select that. It will overwrite it. Cross your fingers. Hopefully this works on the first try. Beautiful. Oh. All right. So now I'm going to go to a BRB screen while I fire up the game. There is a way to do this. I've seen people do it where they can hot load mods into the game while it's running. I've never got it to work. I've tried it many, many times and never got it to work, but I'm on SSD and I don't have any mods running, so the game loads up quick enough. But this is I find it's a step worth taking if you're doing a new truck. It's going to save you a lot of time and a lot of like reloading the game over and over and over as you test different skins and different placements. Just making sure everything works. Do this one time and you know where everything goes. All right, and I think, hopefully this fades right back in. Beautiful. So if we go down to Vehicle Browser now, Truck Browser, TGX Euro 6, XLX, and we wanted what? 6x24 mid-lift. Is that correct? Checker. There you go. I know, it's a bit of a mess, but it's worth doing just to see and confirm where everything goes. So what we'll do is, yep, right there. So it looks like our right side skirts are going to be inverted, and we'll need to sort of memorize that. Paint there. Those are just going to be white, I think. So that's not super critical. And then our tops, that's a little trickier. So what you do is turn that off, and we're going to do like this. If I print screen, right, and then Go out here. Oh, it's going to give me double width. Yep, it's going to give me my other monitor. Well, that's not a big deal. All right, so if we go here now, we're going to keep these images for reference. So, like so. And then back in, the other one that I'm interested in are the mirrors, right? So we'll pivot right around this way. Print screen. Back out here. All right. There's our mirrors. And do we need anything else while we're in here? Let's do this other side as well, just to see where the steps are. Because I like to put little details on my trucks. And the placement of the details I find can very often like overlap with other things, so we'll put this side in as well. Okay, copy that. New, drop that right in there. And is there anything else? Back of the cab. I think we're okay. And as far as the fender tops, I think we need to remember this. This is going to sound weird, but I think we need to remember, yeah, this layout here. Okay. So let's capture this as well. And then I think we're done in here for now. So exit out of there. Quit out of there. And then we throw one more of these up here. Okay, copy that. Copy, I said. So, there we go. All right. So we can get rid of these other ones. Save a little RAM. All right. So if we start, we can start with the tops of the fenders. So looking at this, so we've got red, yellow, and then black. And it looks like J1, L1 maybe, I1. Okay, so let's fade this out a little bit. Create a layer in the back, paint it white. Bring this down so we can see a little better. So now looking at what we created with the UV checker, and looking here, we can see, so this is red to yellow to black, and then we've got a straight letter and then 1. So by process of elimination, this is what we're looking at right here. So if we wanted to put our little step marker on here, it would be facing in, and then D1 is the same way on the other side. Yeah, you see how complicated this gets? 6x2, 6x4 long. Yep, so this goes all the way across, because if you look here, there's this sort of tan color, and that's that tan color right there. So that tells me the tan is the top. And if we go back here, tan is the top, tan is the inside. So if we did want to show you what I'm thinking of putting on here. It's my little no step sticker, right? So if we did want to place this, we would want it let's make it smaller. Hang on. Because that'll be way too big when it comes in. So let's size this down. Right, so if we want to be able to read this when we're standing next to the truck, right? This is right reading. This is right reading. So, yep, I suspect these are both just flipped. Is that right? And then the inside here is the tan. So, right, tan faces in, tan faces out. 10 faces in, so we got to rotate this one 180 degrees. There we go. Is this making sense? What we're doing so far? And then we will just duplicate these. Fried, what is happening? How you doing, my man? And then we're going to duplicate these and just haul it over to this other set right here. Right? And this is just about ready to go now. Come out here, you got to close this because sometimes it won't let you save files while that is open. Saran, how you doing? What's happening? So we're going to save that. Wait a minute. Hey God. Save as a Photoshop file. Rear fender top paint. That's right. That is right. All right, there you go. And then we can turn that off and turn that off. And these are going to be white since the whole truck is white. So now we'll save it as our PNG. All right. Flatten that. We don't need to unflatten it again. We can just close it. So that is the fender tops done. Let's save that. The fenders themselves are just going to be white. So we can just paint these white. All right. Save that. I'm doing great. I'm having a fantastic day. It's a Monday. I'm fighting it, but I think I'm winning. We are going to replace that. So we've got all our layers. Then we'll turn that off and turn that off and then save as a PNG. Done. Okay, no worries, Fred. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Thanks, man. All right, and then we'll close this one. Don't need that anymore. Let's take a look at our mirrors. So if we looking at his truck, he's got his crest down here on the corner deflectors. I was thinking putting it up on the mirrors as well. It's going to be a little bit busy, but I find if you put more stuff in sooner, then you can always take it out later. It's quicker to take it out than to add it, if that makes sense. So let's do that. So we will go, I found an image, and it'll work for our purposes. So if we go here, and yep, grab this thing, and what we'll do is, how's the easiest way to do this? Let's do it this way. Let's duplicate this layer a few times so we've got enough to work with. Oh, thanks, Caden. I mean, not thanks. I didn't make this one, but I appreciate that you like the truck that I found, because I looked and looked and looked for something that was going to be. I didn't want to find something that was so complex it would take like 10 hours to make it, but I didn't want to go with like just kind of generic color blocks. That's no fun either. So, thanks by proxy. All right, I'm going to use this blue. So if we go here, we want this to be blue like that and blue like that. We want this one to be blue like that, and then we want an inline on it. So that's going to go here. And what is his inline like? I can't remember off the top of my head, but let's say it's something about like that. Okay. There you go. And then we'll make these outer parts white. Just to keep it simple. Like so, like so, like so, and like so. Don't think we need these anymore. So we can get rid of that and get rid of that. Another layer. I work in a lot of layers. It just makes it so much easier if you screw something up, because you can just delete that layer or delete everything on that layer. So I'm a big fan of layers. Benguiat is the closest font I could find to what he's got. That bold. Put that right about there somewhere. Create another layer. Big S, like so. Bring that right in there. And then we'll put a, well, let me see what this is before we do that. 038255. All right. And then we want to go here. Outline. And we want, let me say 0. 38 and 255. There's our blue. And if we go, yep, just a little bit wider. I think that's perfect right about there. Okay. Flatten this all down to one layer. Resize it. I'm going to say about 200 pixels. Select all, copy, and let's go into our truck. Make a layer called, I'm sorry, we're working in our mirrors, my mistake. We'll go into here, make a white layer in the back, turn these off, and then we'll make a layer here, call it crest. And drop this in. And let's just confirm our left mirror is on the left and our right mirror is on the right. So 12, 13, and 14. (12, 13, and 14 is the right mirror. Doesn't really matter because this is symmetrical, but if we had something that was directional, if we had like an arrow or something and we wanted it pointing forward on both sides, we would want it pointing left on this mirror over here and right on this mirror over here. So this is the, did I say that right? I think I just said it backwards. Yeah, reverse that. We would want it pointing to the right on this right side mirror and to the left on the left side mirror. All right, so then we'll copy this. And if you want things to be absolutely perfect, this takes a little bit longer, but rather than trying to line everything up, just slide it over manually and it will end up at exactly the same dimensions. Coordinates is the other one. And I can see that needs to be moved just the tiniest little bit. We'll move it when we get it over here and we'll get these both centered. There's a lot of alignment tools available in Photoshop and Illustrator that are not available in Paint.net. So it's definitely, I would say, quicker, but it's certainly more expensive. Anything by Adobe is very, very expensive. So we'll slide this one back over a little bit just so these are even. Same on both sides. Right about there. Right about there. We'll save this as a Photoshop file. So we preserve all our layers in case we need to go back in and edit. Replace. All right. Turn the background off. Save as a PNG. Plus that. Flatten. And done. All right. And these are our tanks. This is, do we want to do anything with these? Yeah, let's it's a tutorial. Let's have some fun with these. So we will paint them white. And we can close some of these. We can close this one. And we can close this one. And so looking at these now, A2, A3, A4 is the front upside down. So A2, A3, A4 is, okay, so A4 right here is the front upside down of the right side panel. Yeah, that makes sense, because this is, yeah, this is that little sort of generic MAN panel. And then on this side, A7, B7, and these are our steps right here. Let's do this. Because we're going with the tag lift, so there's not quite as much room on this side. Let's just focus on this one for now. So if we go here, A7, B7, back here, A7, B7, yep. So that is all correct. So we can close these for now. And we'll go back here and let's do this. Let's get rid of that. Let's just throw some decals on here for a little bit of decoration. I really like this stuff. I think it adds a lot to the truck. So let's go, let's throw our biodiesel sticker on there. I put this on almost all my trucks. All right, so we'll create a layer, call it biodiesel, S-E-L, biodiesel. Drop that right in there. And it's tempting sometimes to make these a little too big and sort of over the top, but I find that then they look out of place on the truck, because these trucks they're really big in real life, obviously. So if you make some of the ornamentation and decals too big, then they look, so if something would be 6 or 8 inches tall in real life on a giant truck like that, you'd hardly be able to see it. If you make it big enough that you can see it when you're building your skin, then when you see it on the truck, it looks way too big. So we'll do that. This is another little thing I like to do. Let's find a really bright, obnoxious color. And we're going to make a layer called safety tape. And we'll zoom way in here. And just going to make a box right about like so. And fill it like that. And then just rotate it a little bit, because this is meant to be just some tape that the owner stuck on there so they can find their steps when it's cold and dark and wet. Just something like that. And then let's do the safety walk. There we go. So we'll grab this. Get rid of all the white. Resize it. We'll take it down to like 200. Sound about right? Select all. Copy and close. Don't need to save it. Don't need to save that. Go back here, and we would want this right up here somewhere. Oh, right about there. And I think that's all we need to do for the side panels. Yep, call it good. So we'll save this as Photoshop. Yep. Replace. Yes. Done. Get rid of the background. There we go. And then save as a PNG. Replace that one. Flatten. And we did save it as a Photoshop file. If we need to edit it, we can come back to it. We still have this open. So let's go here. I'm going to call this layer crests. Copy that. We can close it. We won't need it anymore. And if we come in here now to our corner deflectors, because looking at our source truck, we do have that AS crest on the corner deflectors. So we're going to go right in here. Right in here somewhere. Right about there. Not like that. Copy and slide the other one over. Right, center that up, just about like so. And anytime I paste anything, I always like to save. Hate losing work. All right. So what do we want to do next? Just go top to bottom. Let's go top to bottom. So the tallest thing on the truck are these stripes along the side of the cab. So we'll create a layer, call it top stripes. Top stripes, top strips. Make sure we got our blue selected, and what do you say those are? Those are like the total width of the two stripes stacked is about the same as the distance from the bottom of the lower stripe to the top of this trim strip here, which I believe is right there. So it looks like if we go right across here, if we go right across here, I think we'll be okay. So right about there. Yeah, right about there. And again, the size and ratios get a little bit distorted. That is my goal, Ernie. That's what I wanted to do. Because I know I've had people ask, and it really is fun. I find it to be like sort of therapeutic. Okay, so we'll paint this blue now. But my dude has two stripes, so then we create another layer. And this is going to be our little gappage right in here. By creating another layer, as we move this around, nothing happens, right? But if we were on the stripe layer, moving this would move it. So by being on a blank layer, essentially you can move this anywhere you want and get the proportion just right, get it exactly the way you want it, right? And then go back to the layer with the stripe on it and just hit delete and it knocks it out. There you go. So then we're going to duplicate this layer and then we're going to flip it 180 degrees horizontally. Most of these templates are split right down the middle, but anytime you do a flip like this, always take a look, because occasionally the trucks will be just a little bit off left to right or top to bottom. And so the thing that you move won't line up anymore. It won't go exactly where it was. So we've got two identical layers now. They're both called top stripes. Just merge them together, and now you've got a single layer. Our guy also has a little bit of a cut front to back. So let's go in here. And in fact, yeah, there's a better way to do this. Get rid of that. Let's do all the edits and then we'll duplicate and flip it. So go back to our blank layer. And let's move this sort of right above the front of the window. Stan, what's happening? I didn't see you come in, brother. I apologize. Oh, it really, really is. It's that dopamine, man. Anything that releases dopamine. All right, so let's say that's going to be right about there. And, yeah, doesn't have to be perfect. You can always go in and clean it up later. All right, so now we can duplicate this. Flip it. It's on the other side now. And then merge the two together. And we're good to go. And we've also got, this is down below as well, is it not? Yep, he's got another one down here, but it looks like it's the same stripe, but a little bit smaller. So we will copy this, create a new layer, call it low stripe. Right. And, pardon me. Move it down here, and it looks like it's, yeah, sort of proportionally scaled down a little bit, but the same stripe, and it is right, it starts right at the top of the wheel arch, and then goes back off the back of the arrow. So we'll set ours up the same way. So there is that. And then same thing, duplicate the layer, flip it, and it's now on the other side as well. And what you can do if you want is, at this point, combine everything into one layer and just call it stripes. Just to keep things simple. And what else has he got? Up top, back here, it says 440 XLX. I think we're going to call ours 383 XLX. We can just use this blank layer we already have in there. We want white. And we'll see 383 XLX. Bring this down here. It's got to be a lot smaller. Right in there. I'm gonna fix this font. And what is? It's just kind of a generic font. Let's see if we can find a good one here. Too many fonts. Too many fonts. There we go. Perfect. So we'll drop that right in there. And then we're going to copy this, duplicate it, and this one, I'm not going to slide it because it would take forever. Take that right over there. All right, deselect that. And this sort of thing I would keep in a layer. So if we wanted to, we could merge that down onto the stripes, but then it would be embedded forever. Right, as a, would be a raster rather than a vector. We want to keep it as a vector item, so let's call it top stripe model number. All right, and if we want to change it or delete it or edit it, we can just get rid of it that way. It's not permanently embedded in there. Save, because we've been working. There's that, and then what's the next thing? Isle of Wight across the front. The Euro 6 TGX right now does not have a paintable visor. So we're just going to put it like right on the front of the cab. And it's sort of in the same place. So that'll do. And we'll call this top of cab. Like so. And we want this to be in blue. Yeah, it's got to be in blue. So zoom in here. And what I'm going to do is say, it's all caps. So I'm going to say aisle and then 3 spaces and then white. And where's our Benguiat right there? Bold. Too big. Easy now. a little bit smaller. That's about right. So we'll center this up. Let me see. Right about there. Perfect. And then create another layer. And this one is going to be lowercase of, not bold. We do want to make it italic, and let's make it about half the size. 3/4. There we go. About like so. Yep. Blend that down. All right, still making progress. Beautiful. All right, and what's the next thing? Next thing is there's a crest back here. And I can't see exactly what it is. It looks like a lion maybe, but it looks like they're holding a staff and a globe, or a staff and an orb. I couldn't find that exactly for Isle of Wight, and I know people are they really care about heraldry, so I didn't want to just throw something generic in there. But what I found was I guess this is the coat of arms of the Isle of Wight, so we're going to use this instead. Try to be respectful to Mr. Shaw, who I've never met. Get rid of that. So we'll knock out all this. It doesn't really matter because it is white going on white, but I'm just spent too many years in graphic design. I always knock out backgrounds. All right, so I'm gonna grab this now. How big are we? Make this a little smaller. And then we'll grab this. And create another layer. We'll call it coat for coat of arms. And this is going right back here. Right back here. So we have a little bit less room on one side than we do on the other, because of the placement of that vent, but typically it's okay to just space it out. You can't see both sides of the truck at once anyway. So I think that should be okay. Yeah, it's not going over anything. Right. Continuing on. So we'll save that. And what else we got? So we've got Andrew Shaw across the front. So we'll call this layer grill name. Move right down here. And this will be blue as well. So we want Andrew Shaw. No italics. We do want it bold. We go a little bigger. About like that. Is that too big? No, I think that's perfect. So then we want an orange drop shadow and a white outline. So if we go here and grill name, we want to duplicate this. The lower layer is going to get the drop shadow. No blur. And we want it down and that way, and doesn't have to be quite that big, like that. So that's that one. And then if we go to the top one and put in our outline, there we go. And we can turn this off. Well, we can't at the moment, but we can always turn this off. Just make it easier to see. Yeah, that looks okay. Oh, thanks, Foxy. Hey, how you doing? All right, so save that. So there's our name on the front. Where do we need our name next? I think we need doors. Yeah, let's go doors. And that is, so we've got a kind of a fat blue stripe. Looks like it's just above the door handle and just below this little mark like here. I've never seen one either. I've seen a lot of people describing how to use Mod Studio 2, but never how to actually build the files with the templates. So I thought that would be helpful. So we'll select our blue here and let's get those out of the way. We'll create a layer. We'll call it door big stripe. And again, the names can be whatever works best for you. I've got my own sort of names that I use, but whatever works best for you. And let's run this right up the side there. And it looks like it goes to the joint at the front of the door. Yeah, I don't think it goes past that. That's a little tall. Let's bring this down just a bit, about like so. And right there. Is that about right? Maybe a little taller. And then we'll throw our blue in there. Done. That is correct. This is, well, I use either Photoshop or Paint.net. But I'm using Paint.net now because it is free. So then we'll duplicate that. And we'll flip it, and now we've got our stripes on both sides, and then merge those together, and now you've just got one layer rather called door big stripe. So then we'll create a layer. We'll call it door big name. Big name, right? Oh, I did not. I am so super busy lately. It's not good. It's not good. I'm missing a lot of stuff. It's getting to be more than I can handle. All right, door, big name, and then we're going to, I think the font and everything will still be in there. So we'll say Andrew Shaw. And yeah, that's about right. I think the truck is a little different. Yeah, because so the way his is, this blue stripe is just from the top of the door handle to just under that little trim detail. But when we do ours that way, right, it's not, it doesn't go nearly as far. I mean, I guess we could go like this, kind of stretch it out. Yeah, we're just about to run out of room. Oh, right on. Yeah, I think I've made pretty good time so far. How long have we been going? About an hour. I think I'll be done, I hope, fairly soon. Right, so if you want to do a drop shadow with an outline, the way I'm doing it here is duplicate the layer. On the layer underneath, that's the layer that gets the drop shadow. So that's going to be this. All right. And that actually looks pretty good. We could take it down maybe a little bit more. There we go. And then the top layer is the one that gets the outline. And we'll do that in white. I'm sorry, blue. Got to do that in blue. And that is, what do we say, 0, 3, 8, and then 2, 5, 5. Is that about right? Yeah, pretty close. Pretty close. All right. And we're going to merge all that. But I'm going to leave it separate. So we've got the name. on one layer and the stripe on the other. Again, if we wanted to change something later, they're not rastered together, so we have the option of like moving things around or putting them where we want them. So we'll copy this, haul it over to the other door, and center it front to back. Looks like it's right about there. All right. Save this so we don't lose any progress. And what else we got? We got telephone. So this is, this looks like it may even be hand lettered on there. Might be, but we can just go with, call this layer phone number. Call this layer phone number, and it is in blue. Zoom in a little bit here. There. It's going to be too big, but we'll scale it down when we put the font in. So we go here. All right. And we want some kind of a little scripty font. Anything other than brush script. Never use brush script for anything, ever. It's a little too fancy. It's not bad. That's a possible keeper. Let's see if we can find anything any better. If we can't, we'll go with that. Yep, I think that may be it. Although, no, that's the one we want right there. A little bit smaller. Okay. Right there. And then our phone number is, why not use the real one, right? 07966. 07966 180766 180766. And we just need something kind of generic. Maybe something like that. A little bigger. And again, you can mess with fonts forever. You can spend hours finding just exactly the right font. And if I wasn't streaming this, I might be a little more particular about this, but I want to continue to make progress. All right, so now we're going to, as we've done with other layers, we're going to throw our orange drop shadow out. It can be a lot smaller. Like so. Oh, hang on. We just want it on the phone number. We don't want it on the word telephone. So we'll go here, drop shadow. About like so. Looks about right. And then we'll use our top copy, our top layer, and that's the one that gets the outline. And we want, let me see. Yep, make that smaller. Yeah, that works. I think that works. Put those on one layer. Copy it like so. And haul it over to the other door. And that goes right there. Almost put it on the wrong side. It goes right there, centered left to right. Close enough for now. Okay. Save that. And what else are we forgetting? I think that's it. Yep. that is it. Now, there's a little, right up here, there's like some kind of an inspection sticker. I have one. It's not, I mean, I'm assuming this guy is based in Isle of Wight. He's got a right-hand drive truck. So I'm assuming that's where that sticker would be. I don't have that sticker, but I do have one that will look pretty good. So we'll call this layer Inspect. Yeah, it's just practice. Oh no! Where's my did I lose it? Did I forget it? Oh no. Well, now we're gonna have to go hunting for it. Hang on, where did I leave that? It's not the Western Star. Is it the Volvo? Oh no. Bear with me while I look for my... Where would I leave that? I thought I had copied it over. I thought I had. Oh, this is terrible. It's derailing all my chi, all my momentum. I'm trying to think where it would be. It's in one of these. There it is. Beautiful. So this is, I believe it's the same, it indicates the same thing, it's just for a different place. So we'll use this one instead. We're going to resize this and make it, we'll say 150. Select the inverse, copy it, close it. We don't need that anymore. And now his sticker is, looks like it's behind the windscreen, passenger side. We can't put things on glass, but I think we can put it right here. And again, it's going to be kind of small, just a little detail, but I think we can put that right there. Okay, so that's one. Make a layer called safety. I always add these as well. I think it's just a nice detail. We've got our 3-point safety sticker, right? Safety first. Resize this. Make it about 200. Copy. And this would go, I would say, near the door handle, something that you would see every time you were getting into the truck. And again, it doesn't need to be that big. Right there. Down low. Maybe right there. Yeah, that's about right. Both sides. Okay. And then from here, I mean, you could spend all the time that you want adding detail. I've got, I don't know if you saw in there, I've got different warning labels. I've got safety labels, inspection stickers, maintenance records, anything you want. You can, in fact, let's do this one. Yeah, let's throw this one up as well. And when you see these on the truck, you can't really read them, but it's like you don't have to. They're just there to sort of give you the indication. So we'll resize this, make this about 150. Select all, copy. Don't need to save that. Don't need to save that. Don't need to save that. And then this one, we can put it on the same layer, but I'd say this one would be right down here somewhere. Right in there. And we'll save this. And I think for now we're just about done. You can spend hours and hours messing with these. But I think that's what we've done so far is going to sort us out. Is that right? Yeah. So we'll save that. I'll make sure that we have everything turned off as far as yep. We want no outlines at all. And then we'll save this as a PNG. Like so, PNG I said. There you go. I think it really matters. It does. It fools the eye somehow. I don't know what it is about those details, but it just, something about them just makes it all work. Okay, I think that's pretty close. Close that for now. We'll reopen Mod Studio. There we go. New mod project, ETS2. Add a template. This is going to be an advanced truck skin. TGX 06. Basic. So this is our good one now. So we'll call it Shaw Euro 6. And then here it will be Shaw 6 by 24, 6 by 4, 6 by 24, 6 by 24, I think. MAN. Price doesn't matter. Price of whatever you want. Alt UV, we checked this before and we did get everything in the right place, so we'll check it again. Icon, for now, just use that. We're going to add our image. Desktop. Where is it? Right there. XLX. Accessories. And we'll just work side to side as we did before. So we've got mirrors. Mirrors. Next one will be rear fender paint. And rear fender paint. And as before, I'm just going to tick all these. If you did have different configurations or if you had different fenders for different chassis lengths, for me, honestly, sometimes it's a little bit of trial and error. You just got to go through and figure out which does what. And then fender tops. So we'll do all of those. Done. And then the last thing is going to be the side skirts, like so. And we'll do those. And then those. And you want to do metallic? I'm tempted. I'm tempted to let's just do this. While we're here, let's just do this. So the blue that we use is like so. Okay. So if we go to metallic options now, so white is going to be FF, 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 right? And then the blue that we use is 0026FF. 0026FF. All right, and this may wreck everything. We'll see. We'll hope for the best. Right, file. Export mod, export documents, Euro truck mod, and we're going to call this Shaw 6 by 24 man.scs. Right, I'm so confident. I'm going to close that, and I'm going to close that. Add that. All right, go into the BRB screen while I fire this up. There we are. Did it come back? Come back. Did it? I feel like we're frozen. There it is. Beautiful. Let's go to mods. Turn that on. Turn that one off. All right, we're good. And then we go into vehicle browser bed. I hope this worked. It works on the first try sometimes. Fingers crossed. 624 mid lift. There we are. And then if we go throw that up, so we're good there. And then back here, paint, and then paint. Yeah, those are a lot bigger than I would want them to be. Where we've got our no step decals, those would need to be probably a quarter of the size. So those are way too big. Little issue with scale. And then right there. And yeah, for some reason that stuff moved around a little bit too. Okay. So that would need to be, we'd need to move those around a little bit. Our 3-point of contact sticker, I think I would want to reposition because it is right over the seam to get into the sleeper. So that would want to be moved. Our little maintenance sticker down there, that looks okay. This decal up front is right behind one of the wipers. So we would want to move that. And I don't know if I'm crazy about this placement on the mirrors. I think I would probably get rid of that. But I like the ones on the corner deflectors. I think that works okay. And for the most part, I mean, that's it. Yeah, looks okay over here. But that's more or less the process for skinning a truck. Not actually using Mod Studio 2, although I did that for you as well, but how you actually build the image. That was what I wanted to show you today. So a few things to clean up in here. I would need to move that safety tape. I would need to move my biodiesel sticker. And this little guy right here, our little walk around, I don't know. Not crazy about the placement on that, so I might get rid of that. And then our no step stickers on the back would need to be smaller. But other than that, yeah, that is the process. That's how you make a skid. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions about plugins for Paint.net, if you have any questions about where or how to download Mod Studio 2, please do let me know either in the Discord or in the comments. And I'll try to sort you out as best I can. But I hope this helped. And I don't know, make some skins. Make some skins and throw them up on the Discord. I want to see what you do. So there you have it. Yeah, for a first try, I mean, it typically takes me, honestly, 2 to 3 iterations. Right? Like I do one, I figure out where everything went wrong, go back and fix that, and then do it one final time, and that's when everything gets nailed. But some of this stuff you really can't know. So I don't think on the template, I don't think the windshield wiper stem is really, there's no way to see it, so didn't know that would be there. And this on the mirrors, I don't like it. I think because we have the other ones so close below it, it just doesn't really work. And this Isle of Wight up top, I mean, if we threw, hang on, if we threw a, yeah, that helps a little bit. That helps a lot, actually. If we did that, yeah, that looks a lot better. Better. I am done, Caden. Well, it still needs a little bit of work, but the basic process, this little inspection sticker right here, right under the windshield wiper, that is terrible. But yep, for the day, we're done. And I'm going to go ahead and I won't work on this anymore because it's not a skin that I would ever use in-game. But hopefully this was helpful. If you have any questions, please do let me know. And yeah, there you go. That's it. That's all I got. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for checking out the stream. You're awesome. I appreciate it. See you next time. Take care.
For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me, gon'